Welcome back to 23 Foils. I am your host, John. Here we have the Forgotten Path Games set championships. This is the first round of top 8. I am first seed. I was 4 rounds of 2-0 into a intentional draw with a teammate. Me and him were first and second seed starting it. I knew I was against a blue-red player, so of course I mulliganed hard for the Chernobog Flynn Sisu line. He is unfortunately running the Rush Queen version, so he does have the ability to shut down Flynn from that guaranteed 3 lore early game. Here I opt to brawl it instead of playing Sisu, so that way I can get the guaranteed 2 lore this turn. And he does have the brawl answer for my Flynn, so even if I did play Sisu, I wouldn't have been able to quest with everything else and still would have lost that lore, so I made the right decision there. And then here we have me bringing out the Sisu, I mean. Keeping the Chernobogs out there, I know I need to keep them on board as much as humanly possible for that early lore game. Here we have him starting to ramp pretty aggressively. I know I need to remove this Flavor Sham as soon as possible, but this is one of the points I make a massive mistake. I watched this video back right after this match. I end up playing out a castle, moving everything in and questing, thinking, hey, number one, I have to quest as much as humanly possible, but I broke one of my golden rules, which is never play a castle if an enemy has something on board. I easily could have played the castle and used Snake and Sisu to attack into this Flavor Sham instead of leaving a 1 damage body on the field when you can easily play a Maui and swing for 7, and there we see me getting absolutely punished for that mistake. This very well may have been an entirely different game had I not made that mistake. Play out a goat, try to keep climbing as best I can. Looks like I just have a brawl on hand. Card generation really kind of failing me right now. Manages to bring out Fortisphere, even further protection for potential castles. Hard casting of Friends. He opts to trade out Tala for the goat, which is fine. I didn't have a way to answer his body. Doing the best I can to generate hand value while also controlling his board. I did have a King Undisputed in hand. I was ready to sing it for any potential threat with the rabbit, but unfortunately I had the Sisu. Here we go. My hands are kind of playing themselves because I just don't have any options, so my choices are kind of being made for me. It is not a good place to be. I am practically top decking. Plays out a Tamatoa, allowing him to recover an item. I do believe just outside of screen he still has a Fortisphere. I decided to play out the castle anyway in order to prevent him from recovering any additional items, kind of give him something to do. Really playing to my outs because you can see my hand, I just have another castle and a Medusa. Medusa would do nothing for me and you'd be able to ignore it. So at least this way I kind of hamper his turn, making him deal with the castle instead of doing what he would like to do, which is more than likely questing and recovering an item. But here we see he has a Rush Queen and Maui in hand. This really kind of just seals the fate of this match. I would need to top deck a Be Prepared at this point to be able to claw back in. Alright, and there's that Fortisphere I was thinking about. It looks like it was utilized earlier and then drawn back. Here we see I play out my other castle. I do believe my logic here being I need to protect my questing bodies as long as I can. So if I give Maui and the Rush Queen something else to attack other than my Maleficent, I stand to be able to quest more. He does opt to utilize his Fortisphere, allowing Maui to take it one-on-one. Then allowing him to trade for the Maleficent, kind of preventing my plan, but as you can see he has enough ink and options in hand to make all the best decisions. This is where my deck likes to thrive, and as you can see I am kind of stalling out. I just don't have any card draw gas. And here I opt for the Be Prepared finally. May have been a misplay earlier to even play that castle instead of playing, I believe I had that Be Prepared at the time, but I knew my thought was I didn't have a way to really quickly generate any other lore without trying to salvage the Maleficents. I see another great play by him, reducing his hand size by playing the queen and inking it to reduce his hand size to only 2 cards in hand by the time he plays the Medusa, allowing him to sack my Sisu and have a great board state. Obviously I play the Medusa out as a viable target, but really the game plan is trying to get my Yzma out next turn to generate some card draw off of it to myself. Big CC coming down for the dime. We have a lot of deliberation from me trying to figure out my best outs with him sitting in such a strong position. My options, as I see them now, are either Yzma, my own Medusa, try to get some card draw and better situate myself out, or realistically, my best bet is to Yzma away his big Sisu so he's not questing for 6 each turn by turning it sideways and diming it, and then leaving me a total of 3 lore I can quest for each turn on my side. He doesn't opt to trade in Medusas. Apologies for having my setup so off center of the camera view. I really should have utilized more space, but the learning process. So he decides just to quest for 1 and torch my 2 questing bodies. This is really damaging to me in my hand size. I do not have a lot of options. I have very little options for recovery. See a big ice block coming down. More than likely, probably going to Medusa away my own Medusa with it, or even just further setting up and preparing his Tamatoa to close out the game with that dime on board. Like I said, this match looks so bleak. It would have been a different story if I could find some rabbits or bounce characters to further progress that. And then seeing the Flavor Sham come out, I didn't really have any other options my previous turn but to take the bait and play my Medusa against his Sisu, which protected his Flavor Sham this turn, but I mean, really, it's done everything it needs to do already with drawing those two cards. You know, we see a big Chernobog come through. It's not what I'm needing to see. Here we see I opt to box my Chernobog just to get more questing bodies out there, as I have nowhere near enough ink to be able to play Fox and Medusa. So I opt for just keeping the two bodies and trying to quest hard. Here we see Tamatoa coming down, covering that item. Tapping Dime and questing with Flavor Sham to close out the game after careful deliberation. And we finally see I find a goat, but it is too late. Alright guys, start of match 2 of the top 8 round. Last game was really unfortunate, finding that goat just one turn late. If I would have found one rabbit and been able to play that instead of a pointless Tremaine at different points, it might have been an entirely different match. Alright, unfortunately I didn't find my 1 or 2 drop. First thing I got on board is Maleficent. Because I have so few characters on board, he feels pretty safe with putting down a McDuck Manor, because I do not have very many attacking bodies to whittle it down. But I am able to attack him with Maleficent and play a Fox, follow it up with 4 more damage, and play a Chernobog, which has a reasonably good chance of being able to finish it off. If he plays a Maui right now, that would really hamper those plans. He doesn't have it. He does have Batala, so he just knows I'm going to be busy for this next turn attacking and not questing. He'll be able to follow up with Tala. Opt to quest for 1 and pop the Chernobog so it doesn't get free traded by the Tala. Looking back at this now, I think I would have preferred to go double Flynn, but I know I'm hedging my bets by going 1 Flynn, 1 Maleficent for drawing for more cards, better utilizing my ink, and hedging my bets in case he brawls it, and I can follow it up with an additional one. As we can see, he does end up finding a Medusa and being able to sack it regardless. So if I did play both of them out, I would have been punished because there wouldn't have been anything to trigger it, and I would have had less card draw. And this turn I would not have been able to play off the Medusa. So he opts for the free Maleficent. And we see him ramping like crazy. Great plays by me, clearing his board and allowing me to recover some cards and put down a flame, keeping a big threat out. Fortunately, he still has an answer with the big Sisu. Not only do I not get the proc, but everything just gets wiped. Opt to refill my hand. And again, another hero. I think that's 3 so far he's managed to have in a row early game. Makes it very difficult to pull ahead when he can outpace your card draw and continuously get 2 or 3 for 1 trades with the big Sisu. I mean, again, I still have the answer, but also apologies, I slightly have a character or 2 out of screen. Able to get down a pretty early Tamatoa. And even has enough ink to play out this recovered popsicle if he so chooses, which he does. Keep that draw engine going. And a 3rd item. I have to sing Friends as my card draw is rough, valuing that more than 1 lore. I should quest out with my other characters and then just be prepared because it's not worth letting him recover any more items or quest for any large amount. I'm very heavily deliberating what to do, ultimately opting to draw another card, play some stuff out in quest. After seeing this, I would say that's a mistake. I feel like the best play would have been to recoup those cards with Medusa as I was able to, and quest, and then just banish that Tamatoa, because now he's already going to get 2 more additional lore by having him out that I couldn't even calculate before. And recovering a popsicle. So big misplay on my part. I think my plan was to be able to, as soon as it does anything, be able to trade for it and or kill it efficiently and keep questing, but that is the wrong thinking. If he gets even 1 turn with it out, it's already too much value. Also, he misplayed there. He attacked my Medusa. It really should have had 4 damage, then healed for 2. Still have 2 damage on it. I don't believe that was anything malicious or intentional. We'll see if it does come down to it. Theoretically, I should just quest everything out and then torch it. Oh, you know what? I think I miscalculated. He ice blocked my Medusa, allowing it to take 1 less damage. So that's on me. My apologies. Decided to quest with Goat. Bounce Goat for the additional lore. Play out a Crab, I believe, allowing me to attack for 8 and draw a card while keeping Crab and Fox on field. Not the worst play, but I still think the best play would have been to just quest everything out and then torch it. But I think the plan there is trying to keep Goat in hand so I can keep bouncing it. And just put down a McDuck Manor. Decide to quest 1, pop it, see what I get. And I luck out with a Fox. Bring that goat back out, put some more heat back on. And it looks like also a Chernobog. Try to keep the pressure up. Goes to quest for 2, tells me he's probably about to be prepared. I do get that bonus lure for my goat's troubles. Yet again, looking at some pretty rough hands here. Only four cards, 2 of them being B-Prep. Very limited options. Looks like I opt to pass, especially because it's hefty hand size. I think my logic is if I played the castle, he can kill it with pretty much anything. He has 3 attacks showing on board with a Vitalosphere. So if he had a Maui or another Tala, easily could have whacked it before I have a chance to protect it with Be Prepared. Maybe it's even one of those things where because I have 2 Be Prepareds, I prevent him from getting the value from Tala and just torch it. Now he's sitting in a pretty commanding position with that lucky dime out there. A lot of hard decisions. I think looking back on it, my best bet would have been to play the castle and see all's responses and play the Be Prepared, forcing him to respond and buying me a little bit of time to find better answers versus him being able to just develop his board for free. See another Tamatoa coming down. And a Popsicle. Diming and closing it out. Well, thanks for tuning in, and can't win them all. Alright, thanks guys.